Experience is always better in a group. The Christian experience doubly so. We're just a group of gamers that love to talk about life, God, and video games, in no particular order. So whether you're a newbie or a grizzled ancient like us, we want to help each other roll the level.
Welcome to another edition of the Roll the Level podcast. My name is Matt, and I have my good friend Sarah with me today. Sarah, how are you doing?
I am peachy. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Unfortunately, we don't have a Dame today.
No, the Dame is missing.
The Dame is missing. He is, unfortunately, some stuff came up they had to deal with. I mean, thankfully, everybody's good, healthy, all's well. It's just got some stuff he had to deal with today. But that means we get to do a side quest today. And I'm so excited. I love side quests. I rarely get to do them because I'm typically the one that's away when side quests happen.
Yes.
So Dame has graciously been doing those for the last few years. But he's gone. So we're going to do a side quest. And I'm excited. So it's good.
Boy.
But before we get there,
Yes.
what have you been playing?
I've been trying to finish Borderland slow and steady with Tyler.
Okay, how's that going?
That's just going.
Yeah.
It's good, but
it's Borderlands?
Yeah, we're getting to the end now where the bosses suck.
Oh.
So they're just like
bullet
sponge
Ugh.
kind of a.
Yeah.
But I've also been playing a lot of Ring Fit Adventure.
Okay, how's that going?
It's great. I love it.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
Like I
All
forget that I'm like actually squatting because I hate squats to death. Like they're like my least favorite exercise in the world.
Okay, fair.
But I will forget I'm doing it because I'm killing monsters. And like elemental types matter kind
Okay.
of thing. So each kind of exercise has its own element. And then so do the monsters. So you have
Really?
to match them up to try and do like so the blue monsters are weak against squats.
Oh my word!
Yeah, and
seriously?
red monsters are weak against like arm exercises. So it's really fun. Just like you have to actually go back and grind levels to beat bosses. It's,
Oh my word!
is
I didn't
true
realize
RPG.
it was this. I didn't realize it was an
is-
RPG.
Yeah, it's an RPG. It's like
Okay.
literally you have
Alright.
to go buy items to use in battle. Stuff
Really?
like that. Yeah.
Oh my word! Where do like how much is this whole? kit and
It's
caboodle?
it's $100 Canadian.
Is that with the game?
That's with the game and the controller.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
So yeah, it has been really fun. My son loves it. He, every day it's like when he's done his chores, I'm gonna go do Ring Fit before dinner now. It's like okay, you go get all sweaty before dinner.
Absolutely. Go exercise. It's fine.
He loves it. Like,
Oh my
and he's
word.
way further than me. So
Really?
I'm kind of jelly. Yeah.
Oh my word! That's so fun. That's awesome. That's exciting.
What are
That's
you
cool.
been up to?
Oh my word! What have I been playing? I've been playing for review. I've been playing Vampire
Oh, on Switch.
on Switch.
How's that going?
It's been really good.
Awesome.
Yeah, actually, the story's pretty intense.
Yeah.
The premise basically is you wake up and you're a vampire.
Oh, okay.
Surprise! But what's interesting about it is in your life before you became the undead, you were actually a doctor. And so there's this really intense like moral conundrum of you in your head you want to preserve life, but then there's this like bloodlust that you have, and so there's a lot of internal dialogue. There's a lot of it's traditional RPG, so you're having a lot of conversations with people, a lot of moral choices. You get to choose how you want to engage in the game. If you just kill everybody, the game's really easy. And so
you're being pacifist.
yeah, well, I'm back and forth. I haven't decided how I want to play. I'm still kind of engaging and getting my head around it, but it's been pretty good. I'm a few hours in, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So
I heard good things about the PS4 Xbox version. So
yeah, absolutely. Switch. Mechanically it runs fine. You can.
Yeah.
I will say visually, I can see where they kind of pulled back to make it work. Now I am playing exclusively in handheld, or up to this point, it's been exclusively in handheld. Mostly because I typically, whenever I'm doing a review, I'll spend the first probably 4 or 5 hours in handheld, just to kind of run it through its paces, and then from there, kind of drop it in dock mode and see how it runs. And that type of thing. So anyway, so I've been doing that for review. Destiny 2, I'm playing all of the Destiny 2, which has been great. I was telling you about my sweet business.
Yes,
build
I love that
with my
name.
Titan. Oh, it's so fun. Such a great build. Essentially, just never run out of ammo or have to reload.
Yeah, that's like my least. Like when they added ammo to Mass Effect 2 is my least favorite thing. It's like, no, it was so good without having to pick up ammo.
Right.
Why did you do that to me?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that's been really fun. And then what else have I been playing? Heroes of the Storm, because they have the Halloween event, which has been great. So now I'm just
Wait, when did that roll over?
Is
that on Tuesday?
No, it's been going for a while. They started it really early. Yeah, as part of their whole new, hey, we're gonna do things slower now.
Yeah.
Their events are running a lot longer.
Okay.
Like I want to say it even started in September.
What?
I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I think it was the end of
No, it's
September.
fact.
Yes, fact. You've said it online. It's fact. But it's been a really fun event. I did the main event, and one thing I do like with this event over previous ones is once you've completed the main event, you can go back every day and get an extra quest. And it's either like a siege damage quest, like do X number of siege damage in winning games.
That's what I do.
Yeah, or you can do what's the other one? Healing and then DPS, basically on heroes. And it's nice because you're not locked into you have to do them in a cycle or anything. You can keep doing. If you just love siege, you just do siege damage every day.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, so it's basically a free loot box every day.
Okay. Oh boy,
especially if you run like a hammer or a good. Oh shoot, what's her name? I can't remember now. Anyway, there's a couple characters that are excellent at siege.
Right.
And you can spec them for siege, so you can usually grind it out in one game.
Oh wow. Okay.
So like I think the other day I almost did it in one game. I had I think I need 150,000 siege damage, and I had like 145,000 in one game. So it was pretty good. But yeah, so that's been fun. But then the other game that I've been playing since last night, since I couldn't sleep, was the Outer Worlds.
Yes, I'm so excited to play it tonight.
Oh, it is for first person shooter RPG fans. It is an excellent game. Now I was telling you this too, and I think part of it is because I'm downgrading the visuals to a 1080 because I run it through a splitter because of my capture. I'm finding some of the visuals aren't as nice and pretty as I would like.
Because you're playing on the Xbox One, so you should be playing with the actual 4K textures and everything, where I'm going to be playing on PS4 where it's not.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would understand that for mine, but not for you.
So I don't know. I'm going to take a look at it. I've heard it's gorgeous on PC.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
It's PC, right?
PC is.
But I have Xbox Pass, so I'm not going to pay for it if I don't have to.
Well, you have Game Pass Ultimate, though.
Yes, I do. Does that mean I can get it on PC and I'm playing on
you
Xbox?
Should
I should check that out because that would be great. I'd rather play it on PC.
Yeah,
because it's a shooter, and I love shooters on PC. So
I would definitely try that.
Check it out today.
I'm not sure if it's. I'm pretty sure it's part of Ultimate.
Oh, okay.
Don't quote me.
No,
this is
good.
another don't quote me.
No, it's online. It's quotable now. No, it's good. So that's been a really fun experience. Actually, I've been quite impressed at how much
that excites me even more.
Yeah, how much I've enjoyed that. It's been really good. So, but anyway, I actually want to talk about a little side thing today.
Okay.
Poor old Bethesda.
Oh, Bethesda. Because it kind of goes into the
like talking about
Outer Worlds conversation.
Right?
It's like Bethesda. It is a Bethesda game, really. Like
it
Bethesda.
feels like it. Yeah, I mean, Obsidian made it, and they've got a really solid track
They did
record.
Fallout New Vegas. So
they did, and New Vegas is debatably one of the better Fallouts.
That's what my husband thinks. He's wrong.
Yeah, we won't go down that route right now. But that being said, they're no strangers to that open world RPG. And Obsidian's done a great job with this latest one. They did Pillars of Eternity as well, and
Alpha Protocol,
yeah, stuff like that. So they have a long history of good story-rich games.
Yes,
and you can, even in the first few hours that I've played, you can definitely feel it. But that being said, we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about Bethesda, which anyway. So I know it's good. Fallout 76 has been this unfortunate train wreck of a game.
It's not even a year old yet.
I know, and it makes me a little sad because Fallout's one of those series that have historically been great.
Yes,
across the board.
Well, buggy across the board.
But
but great in its own way.
In its own way, absolutely. Like the story's always been fun, and I know Dame's a huge fan. You're a huge fan. I'm a pedestrian.
Yeah,
it's fine.
You're a bystander.
Yeah, games with terrible shooting mechanics I always struggle with.
That's why I need VATS, and VATS not in Fallout 76 is a no-go.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So anyway, Fallout 76 has been around for about a year. It dropped at a full price with like no content at the time. It was pretty much hot garbage.
Yeah, no content and lots of promises.
Yeah, exactly. So many promises, and I mean, up to that point, they had a pretty good reputation.
Yes, because this is like true Bethesda. Like this is from the Bethesda studio.
Yeah, absolutely. So Fallout 76 drops, and none of the promises are being met. In fact, all we're given are bugs. All of the bugs.
Yes, and then the bug fixes for months and months.
Yeah, which just introduced a lot more bugs.
Exactly.
Which is interesting. But but anyway, we say all that some of this day. It's been not even a year, and there's some news.
Yes, so Fallout first. Fallout 76 first? Fallout first. One of the two.
It is Fallout first.
Okay. Was announced just a couple days ago. So what it is, it's a monthly subscription, or you can pay annually as you do.
Yeah.
But you get a whole bunch of perks for doing this. So I'm going to give you the perks first before I give you the cost.
Probably wise. Good way to start it.
So you get one of the most requested features. You get private servers.
Oh, okay, nice.
You also get some exclusive monthly gear.
Okay.
and you get an unlimited storage box.
Oh, nice.
So these are all, great things. They
Yeah,
may
yeah.
have been promised to us normal folk that
Paid for the
are
game.
not paying for
Yeah.
a subscription. But so the subscription
Mhm.
is an annual cost of $100 American and $12.99 monthly American dollars, which is, in perspective, like more money than Game Pass or
Yeah.
PlayStation Now,
Yeah, absolutely.
where you
100%.
get hundreds
Of games. Well, I mean, a point in case, I'm playing Outer Worlds right now, which is a $79 game plus tax. So it's
Yeah.
$92 and some odd
Oh yeah, in
change.
Canada bucks. Yeah,
Yeah, in Canada bucks,
90.39,
right?
I believe.
Yeah, exactly. In Canada bucks. My Game Pass for the year was less than that.
Yeah.
And that's just one of literally hundreds of
If you're a
games
new
I'm playing.
subscriber, you get it for $1. Just go play it for $1.
It's true. That's what I did. And because I had Xbox Live for a year, I just subbed to Xbox Live.
and it automatically rolled them over.
It
Into
rolled
Ultimate.
it over. So I've got a year of Ultimate for $1.
Yes.
So it's definitely worth it. But yeah, so Fallout 76 is dropping the subscription of like $100 USD a year.
Yeah, which these features are long wanted, so they're great. If you want to pay the money, but they're people that have paid the money are finding it's not all it was meant to be. It's not what they expected, I guess.
It's true. It's true.
Oh man. So I guess one of the first problems people realize is that this unlimited box
Yeah.
that people have been using, putting all their stuff into, has been deleting everything in the box.
Eating all of their items for breakfast.
So yeah, if you wanted to use that, I'm sorry, it is not usable at this time. Also, the private servers have this thing where it's intentional that anybody on your friends list
Yeah.
can just enter your private world. There is no specific list where you get to
That's
invite
awkward.
all your friends, the people you want in your world. So anybody can go in there and mess it all up. Like if you invited somebody in to your friends list to trade with them one time and they're still in their list, they could just totally
Take all your
wreck
stuff
the place.
and walk out.
So yeah, it's kind of
Hot garbage.
another PR nightmare.
Which unfortunately I feel like that's all Bethesda's had lately.
Yeah,
like, nightmares.
yeah.
It makes
They just
me
got
feel
over
sad.
the bag debacle.
Oh my word! Yeah, that's a whole other discussion for another time. But yeah, that's been pretty bad. So what are your initial thoughts on this whole sub thing? Like, what are you thinking?
Man, the cost is just it just screams to me we need money for some reason, and I don't understand. Games that are MMOs cost just a tiny bit more than this, but it's expected. They have server costs, like major server costs for millions of players, and they have weekly content updates, and their games are not completely broken.
That's true. I would agree. for the most
So the cost just seems absurd. And considering that this came out at the time where, I believe a week before, they just pushed the content update.
Yeah.
Where they were going to add NPCs. So that's not coming until 2020 now.
Gosh.
So stuff that would have made the game better
Yeah.
now has been pushed to make now a buggy mess again, and people back on the angry at Fallout 76 train.
So just to clarify too, with this new subscription, does that mean people that aren't subscribing aren't getting these features?
So they're not getting the exclusive monthly content, like the armor and stuff like that, and they're not getting the storage box. But if somebody runs a private server, only the person that runs the server has to be a subscriber. Anybody else entering it does not.
Oh wow.
But if that person leaves,
Then it shuts down the server.
shuts down the server. Unless somebody else on your friends list is also a premium member, a Fallout First member.
Oh my word! That's
So
such a weird system.
it is not it's not persistent. So it will disappear.
It will disappear. I'm wondering. So it can't be saved locally though to someone's
No,
hard
I
drive.
don't believe so.
Because that would just be a whole other train wreck of hacks and
Yeah.
duping. And all
No,
that stuff, right?
this is definitely on their end.
Okay, gotcha. Wow. All right. So yeah. So what are your?
I don't know. The cost to entry is too high. The game is not proven itself yet. It's not even a year old, and they were finally on an uphill slope. I felt, at least, I was more on a willingness to try it boat rather than it's still a buggy mess. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to waste my time on it. But
Absolutely.
they were in good graces finally, and now it's just you're back in the news again.
How you do that? How you do that?
At this pivotal time of year where it's game buying season.
Yeah.
Hey, this game has been on sale. I've seen it for $20 Canadian at times,
yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
sure, that's a price I'd be willing to jump in. But now it's again.
No. Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, I don't know. How do you feel?
I feel like they're going the wrong way to try to rebuild the rapport they used to have.
Yeah.
We had talked about this off air, this idea that, sometimes companies make terrible mistakes. I think of No Man's Sky was the example I was talking about.
Yes, that was a nightmare itself.
Yeah, when that came out, unfortunately, it was just overhyped, overpromised. I think there was a lot of publisher interference in that.
Yes.
And then in all fairness, like the developer just made some claims that
Well, they were quiet for such a long time. It was worrisome. It's like, oh no, this game's going to die. This big idea is just gone.
Mm-hmm. But that being said, they slowly but surely worked their way out of that hole that they had dug for themselves. Yeah. And now, I mean, after, a couple of, has it been 2 years with No Man's Sky so far?
I think more.
Has it been more than that?
Okay,
so, a few years in, they've managed to turn that game around, and it is an exceptional game to play now.
Yeah, like it's almost what it promised.
Yeah,
plus the VR mode, which I believe was not promised.
No, it wasn't. At least that I can remember.
Yeah.
I went back through some of the old PR stuff the other day, actually. I was looking at some things, and I don't remember seeing that anywhere. But that is an example of a company that's like, you know what, we're going to commit to investing in this game, and we're going to put the energy and the time and the effort into making it what we know it can be.
Yeah, and like you could feel over time they were going to fix it. Like
they
even if they were quiet, they did put like an update like once every couple months, being like, we are working on it.
That's right. We haven't left.
Where like something like Anthem it feels DOA now.
Yeah, unfortunately, Anthem. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Like they released a patch this week, I believe, that brought back like the Cataclysm event.
Okay.
Like that was like their one event that they had.
Yeah.
And they're just rehashing it. They're not even making anything new right now.
That's awkward. Okay.
So it's just that just feels like that also is a lost cause where. I have hope for Fallout 76. I do.
Do you? Okay.
I have hope that but something like NPCs would have brought me into it more.
Yeah.
Because that's what I feel it's missing.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Like I don't want to. Like I prefer my Fallout solo. That's just me.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's just the wrong direction. You're right.
Yeah. I wonder sometimes too. Like I think of back to No Man's Sky. Yeah. There was an intentional. It feels like there was an intentional, focused roadmap.
Yeah.
Where they're like, at this point, we're going to do this thing. We're going to do this thing. We're going to do this thing. We have a checklist. Here's our plan. Let's execute the plan. And they put their head down and their collective head down and did it. And now they have a very successful title.
Yes. I
still own it on PS4 for that very reason, because I love that every time, every few months, they're like, hey, we did a thing. Check it out. And there's always something new and really cool and it's good. Yeah. But there's that intentional focus. There's no smoke and mirrors anymore. I feel like they've learned from that experience.
Yes, I believe that was like a hard lesson to learn. But they did, and now they're out there talking rather than like shutting their doors.
Exactly, and honestly, that's like that transparency, late as it was, is the best thing they could have done.
It goes a long way.
It really does. It really goes a long way, and I think there's a lot more room for forgiveness when you're transparent about those things. And so I take a case like that and I compare it to a Bethesda case of Fallout 76, where it's just empty promise after empty promise. Yeah. And then on the development side, man, they may have a very detailed roadmap, but there is nothing indicating that there's a very detailed roadmap.
And they have such a pedigree too. Like No Man's Sky came from Joe Danger.
Which arguably is a great game.
Joe Danger 1 was much better than Joe Danger 2.
Yes, I would agree with that. 100%,
but they were good games, but they're no Man's Sky.
Yeah, they are no like quadrillion planet universe
where like
game.
Fallout 76 was used in the same engine. They made Fallout 4 and like they had the assets there. Yeah. And yet it still
should have been a slam dunk.
Yeah, it should have been so easy to just big bank.
Yeah.
But
no, it's true.
It makes me sad.
It is a great example of what happens when you don't move with purpose and don't move with intention. I think
for sure.
Like they're just throwing stuff out there constantly and hoping something sticks to the wall. But the problem is that the wall's not there, so it just falls off.
That's why they need money to rebuild it.
apparently. But actually, that brings me to an interesting kind of just to transition gears a little bit. I know we're going to talk about Fallout, but this idea of moving with purpose. It's interesting because I think in the Christian life, frequently we get caught up in just kind of floating.
For sure.
Kind of just doing the day in, day out without a lot of purpose.
Yep.
And then, and when you do that for a long time, I think that's when the apathy sets in.
It gets comfortable.
It does.
You don't want to leave your bubble.
Right. And then that's when I think we spiritually start to die.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong.
because we're not moving with purpose. We're not moving with intent. And we're not transparent in that either. And and a lot like what I see a lot in this Fallout case is very similar, I think, to what happens to us as Christians. Sometimes I hear a lot. You see a lot of rants on the internet with quote Christians who are griping about the church and disenfranchised with the church, and the church did this and the church did that, and a couple of things. One, what do you expect? They're human beings, so they are gonna but the fact that we use that as a crutch,
to not an excuse,
to not move forward in our own faith, to me is an indication that we're not moving with purpose, and we're not intentional in the way that we're engaging and the way we're living. And it's very interesting to me because I've seen some incredible Christian leaders that have made a lot of mistakes, who are still incredible Christian leaders. Because A, they were transparent, and B, they moved with purpose.
Right.
And that you put that in contrast to a lot of people I hear just griping all the time about, oh, well, we're not out there. Our church isn't out there seeking and saving the lost, and we're not doing this and that. And I'm going, well, what's stopping you? Because the door's still right there. The gospel's still the gospel. Jesus is still Jesus. The promises of the Bible are there. What's stopping you?
That's true.
And I wonder if it comes back to that whole intentional focus. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Sorry, I'm curveballing this at you right now.
I don't know. I could definitely pick out times in my life where I felt in the rut for sure.
Yeah.
And church. We just did a church series on church hurts.
Yeah, we did. It was a great series. So listen to it online.
Yeah, this is like very topical, but I definitely can. What is the word? I don't know. I'm on your level about.
You resonate.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hey,
about the intentionality, but because I've been reading something that has really I recently could feel in low point.
Yeah.
But I've been reading. Forgotten God by Francis Chan.
Yeah.
And that has really sparked something in me that's like, I am not moving with intentionality. And is that even a word? I don't even know.
It is now. It's online, so it has to be.
But it's just kind of broken it down for me. Like, this is what it means to move with spirit and go out there, and nothing should stop you.
Absolutely.
So yeah, definitely. I recommend that book.
No, it was a good book. I liked Forgotten God. It was a really solid book. Agreed.
But I see where you're going with we can definitely go out there and do the things and be more transparent because you're being human, and you need to you need to do Christianity with people.
Yeah.
So people need to understand where you're coming from, or else you're just not going to resonate with them.
Absolutely.
And then they're just going to think that you blew them off, and you're not helping the church by leaving them.
Yeah.
Like, if you have an opinion, tell them.
Yeah.
Like, if you want the church to grow, go talk to the pastor if you have a problem.
Yeah.
Don't just kind of do it yourself and go rant on the internet, because they're not going to see your random post.
Yeah, that's true.
So go and talk to somebody in the church about your problems, and maybe they have a reason, or maybe they'll take something that you said to heart. So just put it out there rather than just hiding in the corner.
I totally agree. I have this running theory that 9 out of 10 times arguments and fights happen because of poor communication.
For sure.
Or miscommunication or misunderstanding of communication.
Yeah.
Because,
I expect my husband to read my mind all my time.
Right,
and when he doesn't come home with a tea, it's like, why didn't you do that? Now I'm angry. He's like, well, you didn't tell me.
Yeah, it's true, right? You need to actually communicate.
Yeah.
No, it's true. But we do, I want to touch on a point you made earlier about in the book Forgotten God, because it is a book that talks about the importance of the Holy Spirit in our everyday life, and how, as North American Christians, we tend to materialize versus focus on the material versus the supernatural.
Yes.
Right? The natural versus the natural is kind of that,
especially
that
North
paradigm.
America, where
we do, right? Because we live arguably in a primarily capitalist society, which is all about gaining the material, because that is where our value and our worth is, and all that stuff. And that's a whole other interesting study, but that's an aside. But there's this whole thing where, as Christians, we've almost forgotten about how much the Holy Spirit does on our behalf, and is doing for and through us as well, right? There's a great I can't remember where I learned it, but there's this great illustration or concept of how the Spirit is at work, right? Because we get so worked up about sharing the gospel. I think as Christians, we overthink it so much, and I don't know why. It's really simple. Like, Jesus has done something in your life, just tell people about that.
Yeah,
right.
Let Him live through you.
Exactly, but there's this really cool concept that I've always loved to teach on, and it's this idea of the intersection.
Okay.
Right. And so the concept is really simple. I mean, according to Scripture, once we accept Christ, it means that the Spirit is working in us
Yes.
and through us. Right.
Yep.
Like that's a very biblical.
Boom.
Yeah, that's it. Right. There's the summary statement. But so we know that when we're walking in this journey of life, when we're pathing through life, we know that the Spirit is at work in our lives and through our lives. But there's also that promise in Scripture that God pursues us.
Yeah.
Right? When we don't know him, God is actively pursuing us
Yep.
because he loves us, right? Revelation 3:20 talks about, behold, I stand at the door and knock on your heart. If you'll just let me in.
Or the lost
right?
sheep. Like
the lost sheep is a great example of that too. Like he actively is
Found that
searching
one lost sheep.
for us. Yeah, or the coin or the,
Yep.
he is actively looking for us, which means that when we're on this path of life as Christ followers and we intersect with people who don't know Christ, we have the confidence of knowing that God's already pursuing them, right? The Spirit is already at work in their life, or on their life, I should say, and pursuing them. And so when those intersections happen in life where we get to engage with people, when we're intentional about engaging with people, we have the confidence of knowing that the Spirit's already doing a thing.
yes.
Like
it's a crazy thought.
It is.
Just saying hi to somebody could just like start an intersection.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we walk into that with the confidence that, hey, Christ has gone ahead of me. The Spirit is already at work on their life. He's pursuing them. He loves them. I just got to share Jesus and what he's doing in my life, right? And so to kind of bring it all back, and I'm just checking our time here. Yeah, we kind of wrap things up. Sorry. This is the problem with side quests.
I know,
they can
right?
go forever. But I think there is a need as Christ followers to be intentional about the direction we're moving. One of the things I absolutely love about our church is there is an intentionality in being on mission.
That's my favorite part of the church,
right?
honestly.
It is. No,
like
absolutely.
they are so good at outreach. Like
Yes.
it is deep in their core.
100%. Because the reality is, if we're not serving, then it opens up the doors for selfishness.
Yeah.
It really does. We are selfish beings by nature. It's
100%.
part of the whole Adamic depravity, sin nature thing. We are selfish. And the only solution to selfishness is selflessness.
Yep.
And that comes through serving others.
For sure.
And being intentional in that. And as Christ followers, I think, the challenge for us is to be focused and to move with purpose.
Yeah.
And that purpose is always the mission.
And it's not always comfortable either.
Oh, absolutely not. 100% not comfortable at all.
Yeah.
And I go back to talking about games. Like I think about what's his face, or the guy that runs Hello Games that ran the
I
No
forget
Man's
his
Sky. I
name.
can't remember. But like imagine that first kind of interview after the debacle.
Yeah.
Right? Like after the
You just want to hide in a hole, like
absolutely. And he
it's
even said that at one point in one of the interviews. Because I always love indie studios when they do crazy things, and so I really followed this story. And he even said in that interview, it's petrifying to stand up and talk about a game that's been so critically panned, but that you still love.
But look at it now.
Well, and that's just it, right? Like it's pushing through that discomfort. And it's choosing to be on mission and focused and with purpose despite the comfort level. And the Scriptures never promise us we're going to be comfortable.
No, it multiple times tells us it won't be.
It's literally the opposite of comfortable.
You will suffer a whole bunch.
Absolutely. But I think today is just a good reminder that as Christ followers, we do have a purpose.
Yeah.
And we need to move with purpose.
Exactly.
So
I agree.
yeah, so it's good. So thanks for talking with me.
Of
man. It's good.
course.
Why don't you close us out?
Oh, sure. Come join us Tuesday nights. We've been streaming. Well, we have for a long time.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for Extra Life too.
We are. Join us for Extra Life, November 8th.
Yes, we're doing on the 8th. But yeah, we are on Roll the Level on Twitch. Come to our website, rollthelevel.com, where you can pretty much find everything.
Yes.
Subscribe to us on wherever you get your podcasts.
Truth.
And yeah, Facebook and Twitter, of course, too. Come email us, rollthelevel@gmail.com, if you have any questions or just want to comment on something we said. That's cool, too. But thanks for listening to another episode of Roll the Level.